All right.
There we go.
Time
We're
for
pulling
the
boss.
first
Let's
pull.
see.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a first try? Let's see how difficult this boss is. So we're going in. We see the bloodlust being popped immediately. And you can see the hunters already like immediately just popping off with the damage. And the warrior.
Wait, we see a
Man,
warrior
look at the
up
warrior.
there. Yeah.
Wow, arms warrior actually going down here with the buff that they got.
Yeah, somebody taking advantage of those. So, yeah, I think this would be a fight that is fairly straightforward in terms of the mechanics. And I like it. You know, I was thinking to myself earlier today, like, how would I describe this to somebody? Obviously, we got some folks watching
There
the
we
stream
go.
that
I
are
couldn't
not
scooch.
well-versed. And I was like, if I had to describe this fight quickly, it'd probably be pretend like Shriekwing is a BFA destruction lock in Arena. And you're trying to hug the pillar as hard as you can for dear life, because if you're out in the open, bad things are going to happen. And so I think you're going to see here, the placement of the blood is obviously going to be a big, players are going to get debuffs that require them to drop blood. You're seeing them stacking it up along the edge of the room, keep it away from the pillars. And if you can, that'll be a big component as to how easy this fight is if you have good blood placement, then it makes stacking on the pillar a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw one hunter already go down. They had to use a battle rest to get up the hunter here. And you can see there's quite a lot of raid damage. I mean, if you see people just dropping low from permanent, like just dot damage and just consistent damage from this fight. Once this boss hits 50%, she will go into this intermission phase where we will see this mythic only mechanic with it's already 60% actually. So we're actually getting really close to that mechanic. And we also see this ear splittering shriek or whatever it's called, which needs the whole raid needs to line of sight it behind the pillars. And there we go, intermission phase.
Now this boss feels like it's dying extraordinarily fast. That's like a 50% at just a little over a minute and a half. Or I guess
we got
60%,
this special phase here where the boss is also immune to damage, and all you want to do is stay away.
Now.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so you see.
So somebody's carrying the lantern.
You see the circle around. Yeah, you see the circle around the player, and this makes them see the circles, like the circles that you see going around the room, the brighter circles. If no one has picked up the lantern, you cannot see them. That's why at the very start somebody dropped them, and that's why you didn't see them.
Why are we able to see all the circles in the room still?
It's just because they have the blood lantern picked up. If it's not picked up, you can't see them.
I guess as long as you're inside the circle, you can see the whole room.
You can see all of them? Okay.
Yeah, so it seems like as you stand in the circle, it gives you a debuff, which then allows you to see all of them, not just the ones in the circle.
I assumed it only allowed you to see the sonic spheres that were in your circle, and I was like, God, that's going to be scary.
I did assume that too. I was like, oh, that's going to feel a little bit like jumping in the darkness in Rayman. But no, it seems like it gives vision in the entire room, as long as you're inside the circle.
You know, the all right, so
yeah, that's why you see the lantern go back and forth, right? You see the lantern being melee for a bit, and then you see them go out into the ranged camp again. So they're trying to give the debuff to both the camps, and they're also at the same time trying to not stack it up too high, because while you are in the lantern, you get this stacking debuff that does increasing damage to you, right? So that's why you have them pick it up, go to the melee camp a little, go to the ranged camp, and just go back and forth to make sure everyone is seeing the circles.
All right, well,
yeah, and there we see it again. Melee camp. He's running back into ranged camp. Back to melee. Just giving everyone the debuff so nobody's blind.
Now, there is quite a bit of raid damage coming out here. And this, as a guy that plays Druid, I do like to see these boss fights that have just raid damage incorporated in, so that your throughput healers have something to do, rather than just simply being able to stack damage reduction the entire time. But at the risk of being potentially premature, I think we might be seeing a 1 pull, 1 kill here.
Yeah, looks like it. We have another intermission phase here. So in this intermission phase, she's just going around the room. She's completely immune to damage. And if you get hit by her circle around her, you see there's like not just a target circle, but another circle around her. If you go into that, you just immediately die. There's no immunities that work against it. You just one shot. So that's why everyone's trying to stay away. And she consistently keeps casting that shriek. Healer's down. And you can see how everyone's dropping so incredibly low, because they keep having this stacking debuff from the lantern that they need to be able to see these circles. And now we see Angst coming out as well. So now everyone's back alive except that damage dealer in group 1 that they don't have a battle rest for. But they're out of the intermission now. And at this point, it looks like they should be able to finish up the boss because now it's only a nuke phase, basically. No more intermissions at this point.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty nice recover. It looked really chaotic there for just a moment. The healing was really intense, losing the healer as well, but he managed to quickly ank and get the team back up.
Yeah, and we're seeing here as the fight concludes that the classes on top are some sort of familiar faces for anyone that's been paying attention for Heroic Week. Obviously, you've got, even after what was a pretty massive mastery nerf, Unholy DK is still doing a ton of damage. Shadow Priest still looking really good. I don't think they've really been adjusted at all.
They didn't get touched, and that's actually a very interesting thing because I was thinking Shadow Priest definitely is one of those classes that is really up there with the OP classes, I would say, and they didn't get touched. So I think Shadow Priest might be looking really 2%? Well this raid.
1%.
And it looks like it's going down. There we go. Shriekwing down. First try. Nice. Congrats.